Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
Now, once it is loaded, we will see how we can configure the business process correctly. There is one alert. Notifications. We are not worried about that. We have set 2 steps. In fact, one is always there by default, which is initiation. Then the second step, we put an approval. Guys, whatever we are putting, we have to understand that we are putting it logically correct. And we are following that as well. We will look into it, then loads. Just think about the hiring process. More like, getting an approval from the hiring manager, then adding step C. Once I have approval, what I'll do, I'll ask for the documents. I am putting a to do. To do means I have to specify what action has to be done. And this is which is outside of Workday. Collect documents. Now, who will do that? Collect documents means you will be asking the previous experience letter all the things. And this should be done by some HR. See, these are the security groups which are available. We have to find out what security group we should use. Let's say I'm using HR advisor. We have to remember this as well, that we have assigned HR advisor because this role has to be given to somebody. And if this role is not present, then you will not be able to perform this step. Now I have collected the documents, then what we will do? Let's say we do a proposed compensation hire, we'll call an action. Action, what does that mean? I'm calling any other business process. That's what we discussed last time. Now, we can go ahead and do background verification. Let's try to do that. Start a background check. Who will be responsible? Let's say it. We have to find somebody, let's say HR partner. Whoever is the HR partner will have to define who is the HR partner here. Then step. I'm just showing you because all these things have to be as per the client. It is not necessary that we follow the same thing. What we are putting there, it could be changed. We have to understand what exactly needs to be put in there. Then proposing a compensation hire. But these kinds of business processes also now needs to be checked. Whether this is functioning here in this tenant or not. If not, then who will do it? Again, this is generally done by comp partner. Let's see. We have compensation partner. These are the security groups which is already there. Now what I'll do? I'll go ahead and click on. I'm not adding any more step. I've added already. There are 5 steps now. This is just a kind of a demo because this is how exactly it will be configured. I'm setting up the complete process like a 5-step process. Now this could be 3 steps. Also, it could be 10 steps. It all depends upon the client. Now the first step of approval, it is done by manager. The first thing I have to do is assign a manager to this supervisory organization. Now here let's see how do we assign a role. Because security, is there any limitation for the steps? Like there is no limitation. There is nothing. No limitation. Oh, thank you. No problem. Now what we will do? We will assign the roles as per the business process. Because if the roles are not assigned, then who is that person who is supposed to do? How will we know that? The first role that will be assigned is manager. We'll see. And that role should be available in this supervisory organization. If it does not, then we can't do anything. Let's see manager. We have manager. Let's assign this to. You have to find a user. Let's say I'm assigning it to Logan. Logan means because in real time, we also have to understand that there must be somebody who's supposed to do all this. The next role, our advisor. You have to see the security group, and the name is put in such a way that we are able to find out which is that role. And the person who is associated with that. Logo McNeil, let's say Joey Banks. I'm just using any dummy. These are all dummy users. See, this is not there available. Let's see Steve. Steve Morgan. Then what is the next role? IPMod. This group, whatever you have to do, see, it can be there in the system. If it is not, then we'll have to create it. The client will tell us whether these groups are available or this is not available. See, there are 2 HR partners, but we are using this one. Why? The name is this. Now let's see whom do. Should we assign? Let's see, I have any Adam here. I'll try, but I don't know if this user will work or not. And then last one is compensation partner. Who should be that person? I'm just thinking any name between I have one user, I think with that. Benjamin Green and click on. Now guys, whatever business processes we have used, startup background check, proposed compensation hire, we have to review those business processes also. We don't know. You see, the name of the manager has started coming up here. You see that? This is how exactly it works. Now we have to look at the business process, which we have called in our business process. Now what is that? Background check and compensation hire. Now, what are the steps available in that? And accordingly, whatever the users the security groups would be there also. We have to assign those roles as well in our supervisory organization. Otherwise, those business process may also fall. Now propose compensation. Default definition. The filter, and let's look at the steps. There's nothing in there. We are good with this. If there would be any other step here, we have to put that as well. Now start a background check. Background check. There are steps. Looks like that. See, recruiter is also there. We'll have to assign a role of a recruiter, otherwise it will not work. Now we have to go back onto the supervisory organization. Again, click on Action. Go to Rules. Assign a recruiter. Now, which is that one that also we have to check? Now, whom should we assign? I don't have any other user. I mean those who can. Sandeep would not have that type of permissions. I'll use Logan again. All now, as per our business process, things have changed. Just hold on. All now as per the business process. If you see, we have all these steps, whatever things are required. But how do we hire? If we can create a position, then only we are allowed to hire, otherwise it will not even work. What next? We have to go back because when you went into the background, check the business process. You saw that recruiter was required there. If the recruiter is not present, then who will perform this step? Whichever partner will use this, but we will go to the recruiter at the end of the day because this business process tells that it will be done by a recruiter. That's the reason we are taking recruiter. Correct. Now the next part is we'll again go for the business. Sorry, the supervisory organization once again. Now we'll have to get into the staffing. It is position management. Now, if it is position management, what we will do? We will go ahead and create a position. Now let's see if it allows us to create a position or not. Staffing create position. I don't know another thing if there is any job profile or not because job profile is required. Create a new project job posting title. Let me first figure out that available jobs that we can see anything. Let's search it. We have Workday. We'll use this. No, it does not have any value. Let's search. Workday consultant. See, whatever the description is there, it is not present. These values are coming as blank. Don't worry about that. Let me see within this what are the available job profiles. I'll get it. We have this one. We'll try to use this one. Now we have at least a job position, title. What we will do, we'll just go ahead and put it Workday consultant. The number of position, one availability date. Let's choose. The job went available on 5th. Now let's see if it works. Availability date and then hire date. Let's choose today and then we'll scroll it little down, not fill this summary and description. It should ideally come from the job profile. If it is not coming, just don't worry about location. Well, we created the location. Did you remember? Did we create any location? I think Chicago. Let's use this. You see, critical job, nothing available for overlap. That's fine. Now let's see if it allows us or not, because there could be, again, create position is also business process. Let's see if it submits. Are we able to create it or not? You see available to fit. My job profile is linked and the position is also created. Now I can initiate a hire process. Once I click on this, you see we'll get an option hire. I can go ahead and start using it. Let's see, this is for India and a lot of things are there. I'm not going to use this option. We'll use some other product. This is the problem when the tenant gets changed, guys. There are a lot of things which comes when we are not aware that you know who has done what. But now you see this option. You have the supervisory organization. Now this is my position. Now if it is a pre-hire, existing pre-hire, you have to understand what is an existing pre-hire. Do you know what is that? A person who is already hired but did not join the company. That is not hired. Let's say a person who cleared the interview. That comes under a pre-hire. Before that exact person gets hired, he or she becomes a pre-hire. Now, let's say because of circumstances, the company could not hire. Maybe the person was not available or anything. You know that happened. That person remains in the pre-hire list. And let's say tomorrow, at that point of time the position got closed and now we have the position. Then what will happen? The position. If again it reopens, then you can use this existing pre-hire. But I'm not going to do that. Former worker example. Someone was already working before, then we will go ahead and hire that person. We'll choose former worker. But now I'm going to create a new pre-hire. Now, because understand the pre-hire is somebody who has applied for the job. It will be a recruiter's responsibility to create all that because we are not going into the recruitment module. We'll have to create a pre-hire. Let's say I got the person from LinkedIn. Oh, you see legal information United States. Let's say I'll put name as Mr. Steve Jobs. And I have to put the contact information. It is always good that you put email, that it becomes easy. Steve@work.com. And the type of email address is Steve. Oh no, it's Word. I'll click on Now. Now you see, this pre-hire should be created. That says the hire date. We have started the hiring process. I'm initiating it, today's and reason. It's a new project. Position. This is the position that was the regular job profile. Now you see, almost everything is there. I don't have to put anything. I'll just click on Submit. Now my business process is kicked. You see, it says up next Logan McNeil, approval by manager. Why it is coming like that? Because of this step. Are you getting it? Now what we will do? We will have to log in as Logan. Because it has gone. A notification has gone to Logan. We'll have to do that. I'll have to use start proxy. And I guess Logan. Now, once I go there, see how many notifications are there. I mean, there are multiple notifications. This happens when you have a practice tenant and we don't have much of licenses. We have only a few dummy users for everything. See Steve Jobs. Approval, it has come. It will also show you the steps. See, Sandeep has started. It has come to Logan. I'll see. In real time, there will be a real person who will approve. And now, once I've approved, what does it say? The next is Logan name, but is that correct? Did we assign Logan or Steve? Steve, I think you are sent to Steve. I'm indifferent. Because, which means HR advisor Logan is also might be a part of HR advisor security group. In some supervisory organization, someone has assigned an HR advisor also. That's the reason we are going there, but we'll try to use proxy and see if we go to Steve or not. Start proxy. Go to Steve. Now this person is terminated. Maybe that could be the reason, but let's see. No, I'm just checking, because of there's a lot of challenges. When you use proxy and you will have a lot of issues. I'm just checking in this tenant whether it is working or not. Let's go to Logan then. That could be one of the reasons. You know why the name I have put as Steve Morgan, but this has come through Logan. Let's check. What we can do? We can use it. There is no problem. In real time, the HR executive or advisor will reach out to the candidate and ask them to send the documents, maybe in a zip folder or whatever, and once the recruiter receives it, they will say receive the document. There is no attachment section here. No, that is there in the portal. Once you apply for a job, in that section there is an attachment which you can use to submit your document. For HR, there is no like for this HR partner. There is no attachments, collection of documents and all. No, because that part is done through the recruitment module. It is not there. Once you go in the recruitment module, you will be able to see people can upload their documents there. Does that make sense or no? Here, you see it says background check and who is supposed to do it. I'll have to log in as Adam. This is the person. Let's see. Adam also has many notifications. Background check for Steve Jobs. Now you see. This is an option which they will check that. What exactly is required? Which option, which type of background verification all have to be done? I will use this option. Standard background package for hires in GMS. And I'll say please go ahead with the BGB background verification. And sub. Now this should go to whom? As per while Logan. What is the reason? And there must be something. The reason is when we assign, when we saw the business process. There was a That's the reason I have assigned that recruiter as Logan. That's the reason it is going. I'll just start a proxy again. And what I'll do, once again, search for Logan McNeil. And I'll go ahead and click on. Suppose the recruiter is following up generally with the third party, whoever does the verification. Verification is generally done by somebody who is a third party mentor. We will follow up with them and what we will do. Let's see what comes in this background. Check for hire. Now you see status. Whatever the status is, whether it is passing, not passing, failing, I'll say passed. Comments you can put. And then what are the tests that has been done? Criminal check, drug test, all these things have been done. I can just say pass the BGB. All and then submit it. Now what is the next step? See Logan McNeil on assigned task. Now this step is not clear. That's the reason it has become unassigned. Now my business process will not work. That's the reason it says reassign. Let's refresh it. What is that task? Propose compensation higher. Now, why did not work? What is the reason behind it? Because that business process is not configured. You saw it only had one step, that is initiation. That is the reason. For that, I may have to remove that step. Basically, I may have to remove that step and finish it till here only. But once the background check is complete, my hiring is done. Now you see, this compensation is a part of your again, the recruitment module. Because what will happen there? You will have to configure this business process as per the job application. You remember when we discussed about the job profile? There we had the option of adding the compensation grade, grade profile, eligibility rule. Do you remember? That is a part which is used in your recruitment module, and all these steps are used there because if you remember, I explained you there are 6 steps. Once you become a pre-hire, then the recruiter will go ahead and negotiate and send you an offer letter. Correct? That is that step which is used in your recruitment module. If I want, I can remove it from here. And then I'll have to go through this process again. I'll just stop the proxy for the moment. What I'll have to do? I'll again go back to the supervisory organization and make the changes. Now see, this position has gone to unavailable to fill because that position is no longer available. Because of this business process that happened. Does that make sense? This is how we manage the filled and unfilled position. Now, if there is a step, if it is not possible, now you see how many people are there who is awaiting actions. There are many people who is there in that. That is where the problem is. That your business process, which is supposed to be configured, which is proposed compensation higher, which was not done. And that's the reason you have many challenges. It is better to go ahead and remove that process. And we can rehire that person through a different position. Or we can add the position again. There is no problem in that. Let's search for hire. It takes a little long to load. Let's wait. All will remove that step itself. Because of the challenge that we are not going to the recruitment module now. And we cannot configure it here. Because for that there is a whole lot of process and steps that needs to be configured. Then only we'll be able to use it. What I'm going to do. Business process. This business process is what we created first today. Then after that we created the position. Then we assign the roles. Everything we did. We created a position. Yes, we'll have to. Otherwise, how will you hire? Now let's see if we can make any changes to this position. It says it is assigned to these many people. And I'll have to cancel this. Are you getting the thing? What are the steps that have been completed? What are the processes? All these things is there. Now the fact is, if I have to cancel it, I'll have to put a comment. Wrong step. Otherwise, I will get an error. See, this event got cancelled. It will show you everything. And then click on that. Then what will happen? We'll go again back to the supervisory organization. See, it says edit positions restrictions. It has given me that position again. Are you getting the point? I'm just checking see available for hire. And I can go ahead and do the hiring. There's an error. No responses available in this app. The action is longer. That's fine. That's just. You can cancel that or you can close it. We'll go back to the supervisory organization and see what has happened there. The stand is really behaving slow at the moment. I'm not able to do anything. Let me refresh it. Now let's check the user with which I am logged in now. Sandeep only. That's fine. Now what we can do? We can go back to the supervisory organization and let's see what is the status there. See that unavailable to fill has gone. Is that available? No, because we cancelled. Now we go to the staffing. It says available to fill. That the position has come back. Now we can go ahead and initiate the hiring again. We have to go through all these steps. That we did already. Let's say I don't want to create any new hire, but it should be there. What was the name, guys? Steve Jobs. Click on. Hire it. They did reason. New bill vacancy. Now you have everything available again. Now what will happen? We'll go ahead and click on submit. Again, the same process will come. What that is, awaiting action by Logan McNeese. We'll have to go in and start proxy. And then we'll go into the notifications because we have to get in as Logan now. Then only anything can happen. Otherwise, we can't do anything. We have to log in as Logan. Let's go directly into the notification. We all know that. What are the steps? I'll just go ahead and approve it. What is the next step? See successive end of the week. Again, it is coming for Logan McNeese. Now why it is coming? Because Steve Jobs have been terminated. Sorry, Steve Morgan has been terminated. I'll just say received. What is my next step? It will go to Adam. Start proxy go to Adam. Again, we may have to. All will have to assign this background check and submit it. Now look at McNeese. This is the only valid user which we have at the moment. That's the reason we are again going back to the same user again. The next step is, what is the next step here? I have to pass the background verification. Now you see, all the things have been done. I'll go back. Top Pro. Once I complete the proxy, stop the proxy, I will be able to see the supervisory organization. And I'll just refresh it. See, I'll go to members now. I have my worker who is hired. Click I. Are you able to understand this? How exactly it works? We used almost everything here. If you see, we started with the supervisory organization. We built the business process. Then, as per the business process, we use the security groups. Then, as per the security groups, we assign the role. Then, we started with the hire process and we followed that step by step. Whatever the steps were configured, all the steps are exactly the same. Now, once you have hired anybody, you have multiple options. See, when you click on actions here, scroll it down. You see this option. It says change job. You have managed work, organizations, all these things you can do. You can also go ahead and you see this option. It says change emergency contacts, assign roles. All these things you can do. If you want to go into benefits, you can do it from here. Now these benefits and everything is part of your benefits part. But again, it is all related to supervisory organization. That's the reason. It becomes really important. And as I stated, 90% of the work that you do in any module, whatever it is, it will be related somewhere around this 4 HCM only. Do you understand that? This is very important step. Now, a lot of things have not been put here. For example, I want to terminate the worker. How I can do that? Probably those security permissions have not been given. I mean, because of the users that we are using. The way you are able to see higher. Let me see. Let's click on actions. Scroll it down. You see this job change. You see the options here. Terminate a worker, transfer, promote, change. Move work. All these are all business process. You can use it from here, but from there you will not be able to use. Does that make sense? Now what we have to do? We have to complete this task first of all. First hire the employee, then go into actions, perform this job change. It is a step-by-step process. Again, why? Because this is all predefined in the system. Once you're able to hire somebody, then only you will be able to use all this. You can start one by one. There is no problem. If you're facing any challenges, just let me know. And this is an activity which you have to perform. If you do not perform it, guys, you will not be able to learn it. As per the topics, my part is completed and your part starts from here to practice. The only thing which is left is how exactly a hiring will be done when you have a job management, because this is position management. Here we have to create position and then we can hire. But if it is a job management, what will happen? Nothing changes except that this permission, this part, is not position management, but it will be job management, and there you can't create a position. I'll show you that. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.